Do men even date single moms anymore, or should I just give up? I feel like the second somebody finds out I had a kid, they just ghost me.
Children don't need men in homes just for the sake of saying that they have a two-parent household. So many children resent their mothers for bringing men into their child-free homes to avoid the stigma of being a single parent and raising children in a single-parent household. So many women or moms allow society to judge them, and they internalize that judgment of raising their children in homes by themselves, so much so that they are willing to put themselves and their children's lives and safety at risk, all just to say that there's a man in that home. Children don't need male presence. They need stability, they need safety, they need peace in their homes. Having a man-free home brings predictability, calmness, and emotional safety into the lives of those children in that home. So having a man-free home is peaceful and is a sanctuary for a lot of children.
Be honest, ma'am. We all know majority of single mothers are looking for partners, so they have somebody to split the bills with, or worse, a man to shoulder every debt and bill for a child that isn't his.
You want to know the real reason as to why us women aren't having babies anymore? Well, that's because we're not into slavery. Whether you guys like to admit this or not, motherhood is unpaid free labor. And to me, unpaid free labor, that's slave work. That's slavery. Slavery was already abolished, so why would I participate as a modern woman in slavery?
While I agree that having kids is not for everyone, I think it's too idiotic to call parenting as a form of slavery. I'd accept several fucking reasons why women don't want kids, but this is just another way of saying you've completely lost all sense of perspective and nuance.
As a single mom, it is so hard to date. Like, I feel like I do not have the energy, the capacity, or the time to go out with these people, because I'm almost like, if you're taking time from me and my kids, you need to be worth it. And then I go on the date for 5 minutes and I'm just like, I'm paying a babysitter right now. I had to beg my mother to watch these kids for you. And in the middle of the date, I'm just like pissed off. Like, I'm so irritated that I hired a babysitter or that I had to beg my family for you. So guys, can we please really consider not wasting a single mom's time on a date? And I'm not trying to be like that girl, but it's just, man, it is not easy.
You opened your legs and created a child. Deal with it.
Dating when you have a kid is weird because people think that you're trying to make them a step-parent. Hello? Have you seen the way that you act and the way that you live? Baby, I'm just trying to smash. There's no way. I'm not trying to get you involved for real. Babe. Oh my God, look at you. You thought I would make you a parent? It's gonna be a hell no for me, baby. It's a hell no for me. I'm just trying to smash.
Dear gentlemen, if you're going to raise children, please don't raise them like her.
The dumbest thing a man can do is date a single mom, and I'm saying this as a single mom myself. The only exception to the rule is if the man has kids himself and he's a single dad. That's the only rule that is the exception. And I say this because, one, it's fucking stupid as a man to take on somebody else's kids when you don't have kids of your own. Now, do I think it makes women less valuable? No, I think that's a stupid rhetoric. But the idea that you're going to get emotionally attached to someone else's kids, and then if you break up, never fucking see them again, y'all are stupid. But not only that, it's like, as a single mom, I don't want to date somebody that doesn't have kids because he's not going to be in tune to automatically or naturally or organically be the dad. But also, if I didn't have my daughter, I wouldn't be out here trying to date a man with kids. Like, I get the logic behind it because I'm not going to be emotionally invested in somebody else's kids. Now, in my opinion, if he has kids and I have kids, then we're both equally risking the same thing if it doesn't work out, if that makes sense.
I recently read a Reddit post about a man who was overjoyed because his stepdaughter finally called him dad after 8 years. Imagine waiting that long to finally be accepted as the father. Would you be able to endure that?
Yes, I am a woman that has a child. One child, she just turned 8. And my non-negotiables are as follows. I don't want a man with kids. I think that it is very, very different for a man to date a woman with a child or children as opposed to a woman who dates a man with a child or children. And my reason for that is because a lot of the times women who are single and have left their previous relationship with their kid's father, we've pretty much cut the cord and we don't want that situation anymore. Women are able to leave relationships and it be done, especially with the father of their kids. I know a lot of women, I've experienced this as well, where men tend to think that their baby mamas, it's a revolving door. They can always go back. They can always lay their head there. If all else fails, I'm going to go back to my baby mama. So yeah, that's my number one.
How hard is it to not contradict yourself? She said women cut the cord with the fathers, then says if she dates a single father, there's a possibility for him to go back to the original baby mama. What the fuck?
Don't nobody want to say it, but I will. As a woman, if you already got kids and you're looking for a relationship, you have to be an exceptional type of woman. Period. See, if you want a man to love you and take care of kids that's not even his, you're gonna have to stand out, sis. It's not impossible, but let's not act like there's a line of men waiting outside your door for that position. It's harder, and that's just reality. Let's just be honest. Most men are not signing up to take care of another man's kid. So if you want a good man, you're going to have to set yourself apart. You can't be regular. You're going to have to bring something different to the table. That means your kids got to be in order, respectful, disciplined. Because no man wants to walk into a situation where the kids are out of control, talking back, or running wild. And he's just supposed to stick around for that? Nah, that's not going to happen. Now, there are some men who will still mess with you, but they won't care about your kids. They're just there to hit it and quit it. And you got to ask yourself, is that what you really want for you and for your kids? Or do you want stability? Yeah, it is harder when you got kids, but it ain't impossible. You just got to stand out. Get yourself together. Get your kids in line, and then the right man can come around and take you seriously. That's just what it is. Don't get mad at me.
I'm going on a second date with a man who does not know I have kids. When I decided to date casually this year and I set up my dating profile for that, I chose to not put on there that I have kids. I chose not to tell any of the men that I had conversations with that I had kids, and I did not tell either of the men that I went out on a first date with that I had kids. And the reason I'm doing this is because I do not want any weirdos seeking me out because they want access to my kids. I have 2 daughters, so I think the right person will understand. But also because I do think I deserve to be seen as more than just my situation. I've been through a lot, and at the end of the day, if someone does get far enough along on a journey with me to where they do find out that I have kids and everything about my situation, if they choose not to move forward with me, that is perfectly fine, because my main goal in life is never to get married. So if I do end up never getting married because of everything in my life, that is fine, but it doesn't mean that I can't have an experience going into my 30s of, dating casually, so second date, do I tell him? Do I not tell him? I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm going to tell him that I have kids, but I don't want to speak on it too much because I don't want my dating experience to be about that. But I'm teetering the line of being dishonest, and I'm not a dishonest person. So What do you guys think?
I just need to vent, because why am I always the second option? Every single time, I swear. I'm always the backup option. I'm always the option until a different option comes around. And I get it. I have a complicated life and headstrong. I have 3 kids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a single mom with 2 baby daddies. I understand all of that. It's not an easy situation. And the ones that I, want to give me a chance, they just treat me like shit. And then the ones that I'm not interested at all, those are the ones that are like, there's some of us out here that are trying and you just aren't giving us a chance. Well, Bob, you're 67 years old. What do you want me to do? Of course I don't want to give you a chance. Yes, I'm not dating my father. What do you want from me, Mark? You're sexualizing my body before you even have a conversation with me. What do you expect from me? User 6547829118512. I don't even know your first name. Who are you? What do you look like? Of course I'm not giving you a chance. Like, let's use our brains a little bit here, guys, okay? The only people I actually give a chance are people that I've had face-to-face conversations with. Even if we haven't met in real life, we've FaceTime, we've been on the screen, we've been face-to-face with each other. You can't connect over a DM, especially if you're not even my type in the first place. I don't know who you are. We're not friends. You don't have a profile picture. Your name's not in your bio, and your username says Big Daddy Mac. Hey, can I take you out to dinner? No, who are you? Of course no woman is gonna go out on a date with you. But when you actually have a conversation or you're talking to someone and then they pick somebody else, that's when you're justified in saying, I never get picked or whatever you guys want to complain about. Women don't feel safe. That's why they're not going out with you. It's not your personality. It's not that you're ugly. You haven't made her feel safe enough to go out with you. Stop blaming it on the women when it's probably your own doing. I get picked second though. And I see them in person or over the phone or FaceTime. So that what does that say about me, I guess?
I am so tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I just can't do it anymore. I really can't. So I'm going to try my hardest to make it on this app. I am part of the TikTok shop program. I bought these it's like a 25 pack of little Jesus. I brought them to work today and I gave it to my coworkers and they were all so pleased when I gave it to them. You could give these as gifts. You could leave them places as a gentle reminder that Jesus does love you. It does say it on there. I think it's a good reminder for sure. But if you guys could go and add these to your cart, even if you do not want to buy them or you cannot afford to buy them right now, they are $9.99. They are on sale right now. I would greatly appreciate it. You are helping a single mom out. You're supporting a movement for Jesus as well, because sharing that Jesus loves others and sharing the gospel are very important. And that is one of the reasons why I chose this item. So if you could add this to your cart, if you could share this video, you could like me, follow me, I would greatly appreciate it.
Is there any hope in dating? Because I kind of give up. It's too much. Even the people that I don't really care about that much, like, the rejection fucking sucks. It's like, I feel like I'm so trapped in my hometown. Like, people that could maybe be worth it aren't willing to date anybody outside of where they live. And I don't want to date anybody where the fuck I live. You know what I mean? It's tough. And being a single mom doesn't help anything. I don't know, it just feels like life is like, fuck this fucking end of year, Christmas season, blah.
Men are addicted to being victims. They don't want to fix it. They don't want to heal, because the reality of it is, in their everyday lives, without being a victim, they are invisible. Clear indication that a woman is trapped in this victim cycle and that she does not want to get out of being a victim. She wants to remain a perpetual victim, which eventually she turns into the very monster that made her a victim, is when you try to get to the source or the root of the problem, they always deflect every single time. I have observed this in a multitude of discussions when it comes to relationship dynamics between men and women, when it comes to women being faced with the things that make them uncomfortable, whether it's obesity, whether it's standards of beauty, whether it's relationship dynamics. Every time you try to drill down to the source of the problem, they always deflect. Because when you force them to come face to face with the source of why they're in this perpetual state of victimhood, it makes them look very stupid. It makes them look extremely psychotic and crazy, like, oh, so this is manufactured trauma. You are reliving this trauma over and over again instead of seeking the necessary help from a licensed professional to unpack that trauma and to address that trauma and to heal from that trauma. A lot of these women who claim that they're healing from trauma, that's not healing, it's isolation. And then when they come out of that isolation and they find themselves interacting with someone who either triggered that trauma, perpetuated that trauma, or caused the initial trauma, then they relive the cycle over and over again. Jillian Michaels definitely made me think about that, because every time she tries to get to the source of the problem, they deflect. Every time she says, okay, what is it that is going to make you happy? Let's get deeper. They deflect. And so this is why I say stay away from women who make being a victim an entire identity and personality, because they don't want to heal. They don't want to fix what it is that put them in this perpetual state of misery and unhappiness. They want to stay there because they're addicted to it. Eventually, that victim becomes the very monster that made them a victim, because hurt people always hurt people.
52% of women ages 20 to 39 are now child-free. You know what that means? You understand what this means? We're the majority. We are the majority. There are more of us. When I first started making videos about not having kids in 2021, I got 6 million views in my first viral video. And I remember thinking to myself, I didn't even know there were 6 million people out there who might agree with me. Where we are now, look how far we've come. Because having kids was the default. It was honestly kind of treated like if you were in your 30s and you didn't have kids, that was weird. You were the odd man out for that. Not anymore. We're the majority now. You could go outside right now and see a woman in her 20s or 30s and assume that she's more likely to not have a kid than to have one. The men are gonna crash out about this because they're so worried about the birth rate. And let me make this clear. I don't care. This is a reflection of the society you created. You priced people out of parenthood, you discriminated against pregnant people, you treated women like shit. Did you get what you wanted? Are you happy? I am. I'm actually thrilled. I couldn't be happier that women are choosing themselves.
You can't threaten me with the whole, you're child free, you're gonna die alone, because I actually like myself. I fucking adore myself. I love being alone. I've actually spent the majority of my life traveling solo for over a decade, living all around the world by myself. My favorite person in my life is me. So you can't threaten me with that. It's not a threat to me. In fact, I'm like fucking great. I just left my partner in Australia whilst I came to Bali alone because I just wanted to do my own thing for a couple of weeks. Like, I like myself. I love it. I love doing my own thing. In fact, you know, if you want to scare me or threaten me, just tell me that I'll end up like a freaking trad wife, being married to a nightmare man who thinks you're supposed to do fucking everything for him, have his babies, for him to just absolutely do nothing, treat you like shit. You hold it together for the whole family. You get no appreciation, stay at home all day and look after kids. Being trapped in that, for me, is a threat. The fact that you think that being alone is the worst thing ever just makes me feel that you need to go to therapy. But you can't threaten me with, I'm gonna die alone, because I celebrate that shit.
I find this one of the strangest assumptions when I tell people that I am child-free at 33 for two main reasons. Number one is that children are not a guarantee of companionship. They grow up, they move away. You're not guaranteed that they're gonna speak to you every single day, let alone come and visit you. Personally, I think if you're having children to keep you company when you're older, that is a huge gamble, not a concrete plan. Secondly, I'm currently solo traveling in Guatemala by choice. And that's not because I don't have anyone to go with. I have a boyfriend at home, I have family at home, I have friends at home, but I've actually actively chosen to come here on my own. I mean, the last thing that I am feeling in this moment is lonely. I mean, not bad. Also, I would controversially argue that when you have children, you have less time to nurture the relationships in your life. And therefore, when your kids do move away, you are left with a much smaller pool. And therefore, you could potentially feel lonely. So yeah, I don't think I'll be lonely in my 40s. But thank you so much for your concern from sunny Guatemala.
It has come to my attention that people truly are just having kids with no preparation, no nothing, just hoping for the best. I recently posted a video that was like, things you should ask yourself before you consider becoming a parent. And it was like, are you ready to be a single parent if something happens to your partner? Are you mentally and financially prepared to have a child with a disability? Would you love and accept your child if they were different than you, if they had a different sexuality than you? Like, are you ready for all those things? And so many of the comments were like, well, no. Well, no, but like, who would say yes to all this? Like, nobody is saying yes to all this. If everyone thought like this, like, people wouldn't be having kids, like the human race would go extinct. Well, yes. But like, I'm just like confused, right? Because first I'd like to point you to the hundreds of comments that were like, yes, absolutely, yes, I would do all this. Yes, like I'm becoming financially prepared for a child. But we're admitting that many people are not prepared to be parents, and that leads to children being born into situations that are not ideal, that they cannot be properly cared for, that they are not properly loved as children and accepted for who they are. But you're like, oh, but it's fine, like just do it anyway. What? That is genuinely crazy. I think everyone should be asking those things, and if the answer isn't yes, you shouldn't be having any. Again, that's just my opinion, right? Like, I would not want to be a single parent at all. I'm not having kids. Like, I'm not doing that at all, right? But you're like, oh, just do it anyway. Like, whatever. Just do it anyway. You're talking about bringing a whole human being life into this world, and you're just hoping for the best. That just explains so much of why we are where we are today. So
who knew that saying I would require a non-refundable deposit to take me on a date in 2026 would send so many broke men into a spiral? It's almost like they forget that I am paying for a babysitter, transportation, nails, hair, makeup, time, effort. Most of those things cost me money. And yes, I am now dating with intention. I am dating to marry, and I am going to marry a provider. And if that offends you in any way, you were never my target audience. It's like so funny to me that my content is actually rage bait for angry men, because I originally started posting for the girls and just to connect with like other single moms and women in general. But triggering men actually accidentally just became my favorite new hobby. So I'm gonna keep doing that.
The Black church's focus is not on building families. It's about keeping women single, comfortable, independent. I said what I said. Just look at the numbers. The church is 70 to 80% single women. Yet the pastor want to sell these women this fairy tale, telling them that your Boaz is coming. Keep waiting, knowing good and well that there isn't any single men in the congregation. And that's low-key manipulation, because the men aren't flocking to the churches because the churches are catered to women. The sermons shame men and pamper women. The programs be women brunches, women conferences, women's night. The churches know who paid the tithes. It's the women. So they selling the women these dreams while cashing their checks. And let's be real, the men that are in the churches are either one, already married, gay, or looking for some silly woman to take advantage of. You gotta ask yourself, if the church is really about family, why is it full of single mothers, single women, and empty of men? Because the Black church needs the women single, desperate, and waiting. Because if you had the family that you prayed for, then they wouldn't be able to control you.
And this is why so many single Black women. Did y'all see that post that lady said that she went to a singles night at church, and she said she was baffled, mad, and appalled about how many single Black women that she's seen at the event. I'm talking about thousands, not even hundreds, thousands. I couldn't even watch the rest of the video, but she was just like, damn, I'm not the only one. No, for real, sis. It's a motherfucking shortage. It's slim pickings out this hole. I'm telling you right now. I was single for 3 years dating around, and I just found me somebody that I think might be okay. Decent. Mind you, decent is the new standard, and it's fucking sad, bitch. And then I go to the comments under the post on the blogs, and it further proves my point. All these men in the comments being chatty patty, something. Oh, they said they didn't need a man. I thought they said they could be without a man. I thought they said this. I thought they was happily single. All this extra stuff. Mind you, y'all up there happy in the comments about all these women being single, trying to throw rocks on some, oh, that's what y'all get, cause y'all, how about y'all be better fucking men? Then it wouldn't be so many single motherfuckers. It's cause we don't realize our worth. We done hired our fucking standard. We don't realize we don't have to put up with this shit. That don't mean some of us are happy with being single. Sometimes we may not need a man, but we want one. Some of us don't even want one because of all the stress that it brings. You know what I'm saying? Ain't shit. Having a man ain't all that. No shade. Your schedule change. You start gaining weight. You know what I'm saying? But at least you have somebody, you know. It gets lonely sometime. Have to say, oh, I would rather be lonely by myself, focus on myself, than put up with a cheating, lying motherfucker. Like, what would y'all rather us do? It's like we getting the shit end of the stick both times. And then when we do find somebody, bitch, because it's just a slim pickings, it's you hoes, y'all, when y'all see a good man, y'all want them. That's another issue we'll get into another video. But it's just like, I can't stand when men just be so happy at the fact of, oh, aha, that's what y'all get. That's why y'all single. I thought y'all said y'all didn't need a man. How about y'all be better men? Instead of, that's further proving the point. Y'all laughing at us because we don't want to be with y'all, and because we're saying openly, shit, we're tired of fucking being single, because at the end of the day, the fucking options are trash as fuck, and we just want somebody of quality, of decency, that wants a family, that wants to settle down, that wants a real relationship. You're laughing at us because we want that? Something wrong with y'all.